That's what a Havasu Lake look like. Sancha Beach. With some fishing. Look at this view.
Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. It is so great to be spending time with you. Thanks for making time in your busy day to spend some time with me. Hey, right up front, my microphone, normal microphone, is malfunctioning, so you're going to hear a lot of background noise and that kind of thing. We'll have it all fixed up for the morning briefing tomorrow, and I'll also be in studio today at 22nd Street recording even more podcast for you that you're going to love in the coming days. Speaking of that, we had a great podcast yesterday with Bart Hall. You know, the Bart Hall show this year is going to be in January at the Long Beach Convention Center. You'll learn all about that, including some really great stuff about Bart's life. It's so wonderful to have spent time with him and his lovely wife, Jenny, yesterday. Check out that new podcast. That thing has just dropped for you all. Hit that like button if you don't mind. We deeply appreciate it. Just pound on that thumbs up button. You can subscribe to Friedman Adventures right here on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And of course, share these videos with a friend. That means so much to each and every one of us. It is beautiful here this morning at sunrise. It's another gorgeous day in Southern California. These fall days have been absolutely magnificent. I know that the jet stream is now going to dip down, which is very typical in El Nino years, and now they're calling for a strong El Nino. So I suspect we're going to get quite a bit of rainfall here in SoCal this year, and that's going to start, sounds like maybe late Wednesday into Thursday. Not sure how much precipitation we're going to get, but the one good thing is I don't see a whole lot of wind with it. So you get a little wet, it's life in the big city. I'm telling you right now, the weather in terms of our ocean surface is going to be beautiful, and that should keep the Bluefin tuna bite going on. We've got that for you. We've got some great fishing south of the border. A good friend of mine fishing Catalina Island, white sea bass, halibut, and trying for swordfish. Did Ray Millman succeed? We'll have that. Some great rock fishing up and down the coast, including all the way up to Morro Bay, and of course, a big bluefin up there in Bodega Bay and Santa Cruz, in addition to the great bite we've got going on in SoCal. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friend. Oh, that Java is so good. And it really is great to be spending time with each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining us. We've got a lot to cover with you. First of all, I want to remind you, December the 2nd, our Christmas party. Send me a text. We'll reserve a spot. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be in Redondo Beach, California, and it should be absolutely outstanding. Going to be raffles and fun, and so many people from the sport fishing industry will be there, so it should be a lot of fun. Also, don't forget, we'll be raising funds to send more goods down to Mexico, medical supplies, clothing, and so much more. So keep that in mind. You're going to be helping others by attending this great gala event, and I can't wait to see you there. All right, let's get into it with you, because there's a lot of great stuff going on. Lake Havasu, you gotta love Al Rhoda. Al fished with us on a charter many moons ago. He's a great guy, and it was so good to have him sing us in to the morning briefing from beautiful Lake Havasu. That looks like some great fishing. Long range fishing has been, remains outstanding. You pick a boat, they're doing really well. This is a great time of the year to go down on an 8 to 11 day trip and find incredible variety: yellowfin tuna, wahoo, yellowtail, dorado, grouper, and so much more. It can be totally outstanding, and man, I'll tell you, we have seen nothing short of great fishing. The Independence has been cranking some big numbers of fish here recently. That has been really, really excellent fishing. And once again, we have an Independence trip next year, 2024, departing on November the 18th, returning November the 26th, 2 days before Thanksgiving. And you can book that by going to independencesportfishing.com. We would love to see you on board that trip. That should be really a lot of fun. Really great wahoo fishing, excellent yellowfin tuna fishing. In fact, on the Independence, besides all of that, they had a white sea bass here recently. They had full speed yo-yo iron yellowtail fishing. Yo-yo iron is when you drop a small heavy jig down deep wind on it fast, and then you feel a big thud on there and line starts to rip off your reel. That's what we call yo-yoing an iron, and it was really spectacular on board the Independence. Other long-range guys have scaled down to like 3-day trips, and they're out on the banks, I should say. Well, yeah, the banks, 43, 60, Tanner, Cortez. Depends on where they find those bigger bluefin. And they've been finding a lot of BFT over 100 pounds, some over 200 pounds. It's been spectacular. The bite for LA, Orange County, San Diego-based boats has been phenomenal this year, and it is continuing that way. Really great fishing going on for bluefin tuna right now. Sometimes you're into the 20 to 30 pound grade, other times you're into the 40 to 60 pound grade, and then still other times you're into the 100+ pound fish. They are beautiful, and they are biting full speed. There are a few misses here. I've seen a few misses, and by misses I mean like a fish per rod. That's still pretty good. Remember, the bluefin tuna limit in both Mexico and the United States waters is 2 fish per rod per day, total of 3 days. So you can have 6 bluefin tuna on a multi-day trip. But man, it has been steady for most. Excellent fishing, and it just doesn't want to slow down. Let me give you a couple scores here. It's been great. Excalibur, Spirit of Adventure, Tribute, all those guys with limits on the bluefin tuna. On the Spirit of Adventure, they had fish to 100 pounds. The Tribute was into a plunker bite and just kept picking all day long. He had excellent fishing on a myriad of different size fish, but mostly 20 to 40 pound fish on his trip. Once again, varying your tackle. In other words, bringing a variety of tackle, so important right now, because sometimes they're biting the 25 pound fluorocarbon, other times they're biting 60 and 80 pound fluorocarbon. You want to have that all covered. You want to have hook sizes that cover a vast variety also. So we're talking Blacktail hooks. I love that number 4 circle hook that Blacktail puts out. It's really a great way to get the job done. So make sure you're varying all that. And nighttime fishing has been spectacular. 300 to 500 gram jigs seem to be working best of all right now. You want to bring those along with you. Fish a 200 pound leader and 100 to 130 pound spectra should get the job done nicely for you all. Man, it's been really good. Colored metered line, so you know what depth your jig is at. Dropping when the captain tells you to drop. I go over that enough with you, but just in case you're new to the channel or new to the morning briefing, I want to make sure that you have it all down, because that is probably nighttime fishing, the most important thing you can do. Get to the appropriate depth fast. That's what you need to do. If you do that, you'll beat everybody else next to you on board, and that's the goal, right? You want to catch more fish than everybody else. Friendly competition is the name of the game, and you'll do quite well indeed. There has been a few misses here and there, but overall it's still really excellent fishing, and the weather seems to suggest to me that we're going to keep going. Last time we saw the Pacific Queen on a day and a half trip, he was headed toward limits of bluefin tuna. Had some excellent fishing going on up there, around 60 bluefin for 34 anglers. So I got a feeling they are probably limited out and backing into Fisherman's Landing in San Diego right now. Pacific Queen does such, good morning, does such a great job on a regular basis. They just put the wood to them all the time. So that is great stuff. So excellent offshore tuna fishing continuing right now. We take a look on the other side of the border, and those guys are finding a little bit of cooler water outside of Ensenada and surrounding areas. So they've been focusing their attention on rockfish, as you can see. Our dear friends from Blackfin Sport Fishing down there in Ensenada have been doing great. They continue to hammer out limits of bottom fish. Great eating. Can't get any better than the bottom fish that you catch up and down our Southern California coast and in northern Baja. So really great stuff going on. All right, let's talk islands for a moment. Speaking about the islands, we have been watching the Coronado Islands, Rockfish, San Clemente, a little bit of calico bass, occasional yellowtail there. We also are watching Catalina, where boats are finding good sheepshead and whitefish at times, some calico bass, seeing a few yellows and hooking an occasional yellowtail. My dear friend, Ray Millman from Torrance, California. Ray is a great guy. I'll tell you, at one time, Ray's a conservative guy now, doesn't take any chances. But I knew Ray when he was crazy enough to jump in a 16-foot skiff with some other nutcase and take off out of Point Loma and go 45 miles south and catch and fill the skiff with albacore. Ray, shouldn't do things like that. I don't know what guy you were with, but that was crazy. Anyway, Ray was over at Catalina Island. He still loves fishing, still out there all the time. He was on a rig called the Fish Hunt 2, and look at the halibut they had. They had a sea bass to go along with it. Really, their goal was to fish the island and get something in the bank like they did. Man, sea bass and halibut, how can you beat that? They're going to have some delicious fish dinners in their future, but they were deep water sword fishing. They gave that an honest effort. This time the swordfish gods did not smile upon Ray, but man, he was okay with that. Sea bass and those halibut, really great stuff for sure. As we take a look up in the Channel Islands, we see nothing short of outstanding, wonderful rock fishing up there in that neck of the woods. The rockfish bite has been spectacular. It just doesn't want to slow down one bit at all. It's really, really limit style fishing. Ventura Sport Fishing, they do a great job. They continue to provide great customer service as well as some wonderful fishing opportunities and adventures. You cannot beat that place. 805-676-3474. They've got local boats. They've got the Endeavor fishing overnight. Man, those guys do such a great job. And up and down the coast there, you know, the Aloha Spirit, the Mirage, several other boats limiting out on the Rockfish, Coral Sea, Stardust out of Santa Barbara, and up there out of Burgess and Morro Bay, the Black Pearl has been doing its thing. Big lings, those big dinosaur monster lings, huge vermilions, quality fish up there on the Black Pearl out of Burgess and Morro Bay. It's been really spectacular fishing up there in that neck of the woods. How can you beat that? The Sea Watch, San Diego-based local boat. Many times we'll fish, you know, surface fish in the morning, picking off some bass down there. Afternoon, limiting out on the rockfish or getting close to it. Premier half-day boat, H&M, doing really well. Again, we see Marina Del Rey doing great. Redondo doing great. Redondo's also catching some bass, as is Marina Del Rey. At times, the Dolphin at Fisherman's Landing, San Diego, good rock fishing. Excellent fishing for several other landings up and down the coast. You know, Dana Wharf and Oceanside, and I don't want to leave anybody out. Pier Point, all the guys really having some great water, deep water rock fishing going on right now. On the surf fishing scene, we continue to see some pretty darn good fishing. A guy by the name of David Guzzi. David, good morning, my friend. Fishing right near where we taped the morning briefing. Came up with that beautiful California Corbina. It's a beautiful fish taken on a jerk bait. Great catch there, David. Thanks for sharing. That's a big bean, and there's a lot of them in this short water here. This is a perfect day for surf fishing. There's no grass in the water, and it looks absolutely fantastic. I know you get bit on a day like this. You can fish bait. In the wintertime, when we get deeper into winter, most of the time surf fishing is going to be a better bait bite. They're still biting. As you can see, a jerk bait, you'll bite on a little chrome crocodile lure. You can fish any numbers of ways. Also, fishing down in Imperial Beach. Glenn Salvador. Hey, Glenn, good job, my friend, putting the hurt on the bar perch down there in Imperial Beach. He had just spectacular fishing with the Aussie Slayer and the Super Slayer. Those baits working super on those bar perch. And man, this has been a year where we've had bar perch all year long. It's really been an incredible year. Don't forget, if you want your surf fishing gear, baits, or big game tackle, you can go to Big Fish Bait and Tackle in Seal Beach, California, right there on the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway. They've got everything you will need. Lobster, still really good. I love those combo trips. Several boats are running. Triton, Gale Force, Sport King out of LA Harbor. They have been doing really good. They go out, catch a limit of whitefish right away, maybe a couple sheep's head, something like that. Other times they'll go fish deep water cod, but mostly it's been the whitefish. They get that in the sack for you. Head over to Catalina Island, and it's been pretty darn good. You know, 4 or 5 per angler, 7 lobster per angler is limits. So you get 4 or 5, and many times they get that limits, and that's some pretty good fishing, if you ask me. The hoop netting has been really good over there at Catalina. Remember, $50 a pound is what you pay for those little devils, those bugs at the market. So, man, you get 10 pounds sounds like $500 to me. That is some pretty darn good hoop netting going on. Remember, if you want a discount on your Promar hoop net, you can get it at Big Fish Bait and Tackle, or you can go online to promarahi.com. Put in Friedman 10 at checkout. You'll get 10% off your order. All right, lots going on, as you can see. Once again, I apologize about the microphone. I hope I was loud enough here this morning for you all. The neighbors seem to think I am, as I see people wandering around going, who the heck? Is there some crazy guy down on the beach yelling and screaming this morning? And the answer to that is absolutely yes. Hey, have a great day, my friends. As always, we deeply appreciate you spending time with us here on the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. Remember, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. You can follow us there. Over 10 million views, and we haven't even gotten started yet. It's going to be a great 2024. I'll see you at the Christmas party December 2nd. Just send me a text today, reserve your spot. And if I don't see you in the next couple days, I hope to see you really, really soon. Have a great day, my friends.